Hey, THL. Welcome back to another Sunday. I'm Saku. And with me
I
tonight,
am Hustle.
we have, yeah, exactly. We have Hustle. We aren't hustling, but we are Hustle. So, my
Every
Andon may be
every
joining.
day we're hustling.
My Andon may be joining us shortly, but not anticipating it because his Eagles or the Birds beat the Giants. Sorry, Aziz Akari. They lost. And who else is a Giants fan? If anybody else is a Giants fan out there. But anyway, sorry about that. But here we are doing Sunday Showdown for Hearthstone for the DHL. How you doing, Hustle? Forgot to ask that too.
Pretty good. I had a pretty good weekend in THL myself, so I'm just sort of enjoying that. How are you this weekend?
Did good. I was pretty busy myself. Had 4 matches and was 50-50 of them. So won my Legacy and
Wow, four
Hero.
matches.
And then my Pro debut in EU, I lost that one and lost my Pro match to Vino. But it's all good. So now we have a hero match and a legacy match. One's going to determine who moves on, or who should say who moves on, but who gets some big points, and the other one was already determined. So tonight's match um, is going to be an interesting one with another pleasant meeting with Jolt C representing that team, who is up 10-7 over. Sorry, lads, acquire the title, which is being represented by You Kidding Me. So points matter. Doesn't matter if it's 1 point, 2 points, or winning. That's your 4 points. So it's close, this one.
Yeah, it's a pretty close one, just right off the bat. So, you know, every point's going to matter in this matchup, and I'm excited to see what these players can do.
Yeah. So well, we already got the bands in, as people see it on screen right now. Players are ready to go, but if you want to go over the classes real quick, and then I'll just let the players know that they can get started in a minute. So
Yeah, we've got you Kitten who brought You Kidding Me brought Demon Hunter, Mage, Rogue, and Warlock. Their Mage has been banned by Jolt C. Meanwhile, Jolt C brought Demon Hunter, Druid, Hunter, and Rogue, and You Kidding Me banned Jolt C's Rogue. So I love seeing Druid in a lineup. It's one of my favorite classes right now. I think a little bit underrated in the current ecosystem, but maybe that's just me.
Druid, godlike Druid, fast Druid or slow Druid or rampy Druid, whichever. I know there's individuals out there with Tankus Dad list ripping around. I can't remember what he calls it. Beetle. I say Beetlejuice, but it's Beetle something. Beetle Druid, we'll call it. So
Oh, I don't think I've seen this one yet.
he's got a concoction that's not rogue, but it's all druid that he's created. That's doing some things. So
Well, that's excited. I'm gonna have to check that out after this stream.
so, but the players are ready. If you're ready, I'm ready.
Uh, Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to let them go. So for our viewers out there, we're going to have Jolt C is going to be the first to spectate, or at the bottom of the screen, with You Kit Me being at the top. Oh, guys can go. Perfect. So now we're just waiting for our players to get started. Some good luck, have fun's going on there. So what do you think is going to pop out for each player? Which class? Okay.
Um, I would I would guess probably the Demon Hunter. Both players of the Demon Hunter up. Demon Hunter is really strong right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just want to get your points and move on. So I'd be surprised to see something besides the Demon Hunter. But everybody tries to maybe game what their opponent might do and bring and counter it. But at the end of the day, probably mostly just luck of the roll with what you lead with. So I say just play your best deck right out of the gate.
So it appears that we have uh, a a warlock, aka rogue. For you kidding me? And Or is
Be their
they did
actual warlock.
bring Warlock. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? Anyway, see, I'm new here. And then there's Hunter for Jolt C.
And I see a piercing shot in Joltzi's Mulligan, which I don't see in many of the Hunter decks I'm familiar with at the moment. So interested to see what it is they brought. Meanwhile, it looks as though You Kitten Me might have Phylactery Warlock, which is just awesome. I don't see many of those on ladder right now with the state of things, and it'll be
No.
fun to see if that is indeed what this is. 2 Iron Deep Drogs in the opening hand for Jolt C, very strong, especially against Phylactery Warlock, which just wants to play some draw, and that's going to be frustrating. They do
Yeah.
pull the Mistress of Mixtures on 2, so that will help. I decided to go with the life tap first. A little bit awkward. Probably going to have to float a mana here, but they do find the Batty Guest on the Discover, so that's a good find because the K-Nanotron can just pull that right out. Let's see if they choose it.
And okay.
Turn 3 for You Kidding Me. They've got a Scourge Supplies in hand, so they can go for the draw. They could also try and get their Mistress of Mixtures out to contest this Trog, but now with 2 other minions on the board, it probably wouldn't survive to do that. So it looks like they might be trying to get an early clear with that Explosive Sheet.
Yep. Mortal Coil it and watch some of the board disappear. 3 turns into 2. Decent card there, Poacher, but
Okani coming right down. That's going to be pretty painful for You Kidding Me. They do have a coin, so. And Jolt C wisely chooses minion there, knowing that the coin is in hand for You Kidding Me. They can just use it to test Okani, so he's going to have to pick a minion he doesn't care quite so much about. Eventually.
Choose one to discard. So which one would be a good one to discard? Not Tamsin, right? That'd be a bad one.
Not Tamsin. I think it makes you choose from among the cards that you draw.
Yep.
So it won't have to be those. What do they?
Wow.
Got a Shallow Grave, Explosive Sheep, and Fiendish Circle. I think Fiendish Circle is the right one to choose, and that is what they chose.
Yep. I didn't read the card properly. See? Shows how much I know. Silly.
It can be a little tricky. Got a piercing shot. That's not going to be tremendously helpful in the short term, but right now they're just putting on all the pressure, just dropping Arlon on 5, full board, difficult to clear with the dormant minions on board. Game's getting away from You Kidding Me a little bit. They're going to have to do something to get away from all of this pressure that Jolt C is putting on them.
Yeah, 6 damage on board right now for Jolt C, but
going into Tavish on 6-2, it's a really strong curve.
Yeah.
They've had all the stuff they've needed right here at the beginning of the game, and it's only getting better with Tavish.
You pop that mine, don't you? Right now, the 3-1.
You may as well, because You Kitten Me's turn 6 is next. You imagine with so much pressure on board that they hope they have Tamsin. We see, of course, that they do, and so it's probably going to go away anyway. And there's nothing else to do with the Wild Seed, so you may as well.
Did Hearthstone crash?
Did it freeze a little bit? I see the arrow stuck there.
Yeah, arrow stuck there. I think all I seen was the bat attack, and then that was it. So, Batman, what have you done? So either
the bat broke the game.
Yep. So if you want to try and log out and log back in, I'll nope. Okay, never mind.
There it
They're
goes.
just thinking.
Oh, and they're going to piercing shot their own
Okay.
to get the extra damage in instead of Tavish. I like that as line. I didn't see that. That puts them 4 off of 4 away. That's just 2 hero powers, or they could get Tavish and get the secret that deals essentially a Pyroblast there, really closing in on You Kitten Me. And let's see if You Kitten Me can
Come through.
get away.
Yep. So
Tamsin's going to help a lot. That adds 5 health. Only leaves the Okani up. That's still just 2 attack, but when you've only got 9, 2 attack is a lot. Helps to have that imp come out on the draw.
Right.
But they're running out of time.
Now we got a taunt that comes up, so Doggy Biscuit and ramming mount, so that's 4, 5, 6.
+4, 6.
+2.
It looks like there might just be 1 off of lethal with the Doggy Biscuit draw, but they're gonna say, "I dare you to clear this."
Yep.
And that's tough because the ramming mount gives it a death rattle that leaves a body on the board. And I think that the stag is due to awaken on the next turn, so
Plus
You
you get the
Kitten Me's
hero
gonna have to
power.
find some healing really fast.
Yep. Tamsin.
That will help.
4 times, I believe. Can they do it 4 times?
Yeah,
3?
so that's gonna heal for 12.
One more. There we go.
Heal up to 13. That's one of the things that's so powerful about this
Phylactery one.
Phylactery Warlock is it doesn't seem as though they've got so much healing, but Tamsin just lets you spam some of these healing spells in a way that is really difficult to account for.
Yep. Strider's pretty interesting.
Yeah, with a hand that's nearly empty, Hawkstrider's not going to bring a ton of value at this stage in the game. Oh. Ooh.
Denied? Is that what it is? And
Yep.
improved
It
ice
is.
trap? What do we got? Yep.
They chose improved ice trap. That's it. With the hero power, they're going to opt to take that Tamsin out. That's a good call. You Kitten Me's got 11 left, and they can only play 2 cards safely without really risking their neck here. So, not sure what they can do to dig themselves out of this one. This is going to be a tricky one. But they may find a way. They've got 1 more healing spell and then 1 more minion that can heal as well. Neither of them are in hand right now. I'm assuming, of course.
Yeah, just
if
for
this
viewers.
Go
ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that's all. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was just going to say, just for our viewers out there, this is last hero standing. So if a player wins, then they get to keep playing with that deck until they lose. So it's a race to best of 5.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That makes a big difference in terms of how you choose the next deck you play.
Explosions.
This is going to clear the board.
Motion denied to the face. Which I think they're hoping not, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you get to a point where you just got to hope that they don't have the worst thing for you, but
yeah.
Jolt C had it and takes the win in game 1.
That's right. So Jolt C comes back with their hunter. Now it's just what happens for You Kitten Me for counter. How do you counter that?
Yeah, they've got Rogue and Demon Hunter left. Going up against what they would have seen of this hunter, I've got to imagine if they're bringing Quest Demon Hunter that it's going to be Quest Demon Hunter, since it has so much potential to just clear and regain health with Unleash Fell. But it's a pretty high skill deck, and Jolt C just showed that they can put the pressure on when it counts. So let's see what You Kitten Me decides to queue up to counter this hunter.
Yeah. All right. So here we are.
They do bring the Demon Hunter.
Game 2.
I'm acting on instinct.
It's right now
Pretty
Jolt
good
C.
offer to Jolt C.
Mm-hmm. Big keep.
I imagine they might kick back the Conjured Arrow because you really want to get the Mana Thirst bonus off of that. You won't until turn 6.
Which is a while. Unless you're getting pressure
Which will
early.
be
Yeah.
a little while, yeah. And against the Demon Hunter, they don't put minions on the board except to kill them right away for the Sinful Brand and the draw. So they do kick it back, and Iron Deep Trog on one going first against the Quest Demon Hunter. That is painful for You Kidding Me.
So, so this just means
that's really tough.
That's gross.
Yeah, nothing to do about it except this, and then try and play the quest out next turn. It's not the end of the world. They can still do a lot from that position, but it does slow you down in a frustrating way. Meanwhile, the peasant and the baddie guest, that's a lot of pressure, and you don't want to leave. Oh, they're gonna just unleash Fel right away. That's the play.
Yep.
You lose the opportunity to heal with it later, but against that much pressure in 2 turns, you've got to do it.
Yep. Ooh. Haven't seen that card in a while.
Yeah, this is an interesting hunter deck from Jolt C. I haven't seen this one, and I like what it's doing. They get the Hawkstrider Rancher down, so they're going to start just getting value on every minion they play from here on out, and it's going to become critical to You Kitten Me to get rid of this, because suddenly they're not going to be able to clear with one spell because of the death rattles that are going to be on all these minions. The good news is they've only got 1 minion in hand, Jolt C. Bad news is it's Raj Najan, so now spells are going to start becoming very painful as well. This is a tough spot to be in for You Kitten Me. They've just been playing on their back foot in both matches so far.
Get rid of this board a little bit, but still.
Yeah, they're able to clear the board. Puts them in a strong position now, as they have the hand advantage over Jolt C. Jolt C is a turn away from being able to play Tavish and get that value. They do draw the K9-atron. They're
Again?
not offered a 1-drop.
Aim shot they could use right now, but do they want to?
Yeah, it's tricky because you're getting to a point where your board's going to start becoming a liability to the pressure you're putting on.
Mm-hmm.
Because once they get to turn 6, they're going to be able to heal up, but they decide to go for the K9-atron, essentially a mulligan for that Discover, and I imagine they might try and get that aimed shot on the next round.
Going for that, okay.
Stheno. You Kidding Me's turning the corner here. They found Stheno, and they're going to be able to start counter pressuring Jolt C, who doesn't have a lot of ways of reacting except for Tavish on 6 and hope for, I suppose, of an ice trap or a freezing trap.
Keep going, coin.
Yeah, I wonder if it's better to trade the 1/1 into the 2/1, but it looks like they're just going to let Stheno get the clear in, and they're choosing to not play the Dispose of Evidence here. I suppose because they don't want to send anything in their hand back right now. That makes a lot of sense. They want these things to help maintain board control, and they get a little bit of draw off of the Chaos Strike. So I think smart decision not playing that 0-cost spell just for the extra 2 damage and preserving these critical resources for this matchup. Tavish does come down. This is not a great offer for the matchup.
Nope.
You know, explosive trap is just going to deal 3 damage, which is good, but you don't have. It doesn't seem like the game plan for this deck is a whole lot of burns, so it does not It's not going to help clear any board that You Kit and Me would be able to put down. It looks like they might have chosen that though.
Freeze trap
do
and
choose
ice
trap.
trap. Sorry, ice trap and explosive trap. So
explosive trap, even buffed as it is with Tavish, won't be enough to beat Steno. It looks like they're going to start with the dispose of evidence, possibly just to test that ice trap. But
there it is. There's the trap tricked.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. You don't spend it right now anyway. Do you get 4 to face with Steno?
Yeah. Now just let's see what else you might have. Steno's gonna attack. It's gonna trigger the second secret.
Not get injured.
Yeah, they took a little bit of a risk there that it wasn't a freezing trap, which would have sent Steno back in that situation. But it was a risk that paid off and helped to preserve Steno's health rather than allowing the minion to take 3, which would have made it easier for Jolt C to clear. And now Jolt C is going to have to figure out how to survive.
Yeah.
They have some draw. They know it's at the bottom of their deck, or at least 2 of those cards.
Let's say they wouldn't dial up.
Sorry.
I was going to say that they wouldn't dial up a Huffer at this point in time, right? Huffer? Hey.
I mean, you never feel bad about finding Huffer.
It's always Huffer, as Ron would say. Old Ron Mexico.
Yeah. It sure is. It was for me in one of my matches earlier today. Huffer's always there when you need him. He's a good boy. Well, Dory Warband comes down, clear up the Huffer. This is a pretty close game so far, but double Sinful Brand.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-cost minion, but with so little health left, I think that this is going to be enough.
Yep. 4, 1, and then next turn is...
They leave them at 3. There's no clear way for Jolt C to deal 11 damage in a turn. Finding a taunt minion does help. I don't think it's going to help enough.
Minion? Yeah, spell, right? Definitely spell.
Definitely spell.
I don't know what they picked. Huh. Oh, spell. Like, can't. Okay.
Yeah. That's the one. They've got enough health to clear the taunt with their face, tank 4, and then just 3 individual damages. So You Kit and Me taking the win with the Demon Hunter. And now the hunter is gone.
The hunter has been hunted. So, tied at 1-1.
Tied at 1-1. I love to see it. So now You Kit and Me is going to have to leave the Demon Hunter up as per the format. What do we think that Jolt C is going to bring between the Druid and their Demon Hunter?
I think it's going to be a Demon Hunter. I can't see Druid walking into this, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on what Druid they're bringing. They might be bringing something else that's off meta.
True.
I would have just expected the ramp Druid, but
it is Druid.
It is Druid, and it is ramped Druid. I do like that pick going up against the Demon Hunter because you can generate so much armor for yourself that it helps to diminish the impact of Demon Hunter's burn. It looks as though this may be Prince Renathal, a 40-card Demon Hunter, which can be a little bit difficult if you don't find the stuff you need. Having those 10 extra cards can dilute the efficiency of the deck, but it also gives you a little bit of extra health. And with a Jerry Rig Carpenter in hand, a Widow Bloom Seasonment, and the coin, they're just going to have an excellent early game right here.
Yep.
So
Rampy. Good old Ramp Druid.
You Kidding Me looks like they've got a pretty solid hand to start with too. They've got the Spectral Sight Outcast right off the bat. They're going to start with the Chaos Strike because
Why
you
not?
get so much more value off of
Yeah.
the Spectral Sight in terms of being able to complete the quest.
All
And
right.
Jerry Rig Carpenter comes down. Man, they've just got the best opening you could hope for with this deck. They'll coin Widow Bloom next, and then right into Rampant Growth. Need for Greed on 3 for You Kidding Me. That is huge for them. And the Sigil of Alacrity up is going to make that Spectral Sight worth playing next turn.
Yeah.
We get the Widow Bloom Seedsman down.
Oh, some Wild Growth just to sprinkle on there too, but going into turn 5, you're probably throwing down more of that Rampant Growth.
Yeah, I've got to imagine that Rampant Growth and the chitinous armor too, because you just want to start getting that up. Having those both there is going to be huge for Jolt C. I think that they're in a pretty good position to withstand the pressure from You Kidding Me. But we'll see what You Kidding Me can do because they're doing pretty well also.
They're churning right now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. 2 legs of the quest complete. You don't really even need to complete it again after this. You could, I suppose, but the returns on that investment are diminished by now. And let's see what Jolt C does. They just play the curve. Get some armor. And
did what
then
you said.
With 7 cards left in hand, they'll be able to play the Miracle Growth without having to risk burning a card because they do have the Aquatic Form in hand. So worst case scenario would be they just play that and select a card that's too expensive to draw. But looking at You Kidding Me's hand, man, just a lot of cards that cost almost nothing.
Yeah.
They've got a Sinful Brand. They've got a Fury.
Satano coming out. Everything's discounted. Abusive Surge taken next, so could be go time.
Yeah, so
we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like go time. They're gonna buff this Steno and just start playing some cheap spells.
Do you put it on there or do you wait for something bigger?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It looks.
Yeah. Okay. I would wait because Druid's gonna the next turn is. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
get
that's
another one
a
in
surprising
hand.
decision from You Kidding Me.
Unless I don't think they got Miracle Growth, but they're getting there. 11 on Druid is turn 8.
Turn 8, they get a little bit of extra armor from the Chitinous Growth on the last turn. Now they're in an interesting situation. They could play Miracle Growth, but the trouble is it leaves their Steno up. And if You Kidding Me has another Sinful Brand, then that's a really bad position for Jolt C to be in. Jolt C is looking for anything to help pad their health at this stage of the game. They're going to mulligan the Aquatic Form. Not liking what they see there. I'd be surprised if they don't play the Undertaker here. Is that what it's called? The Under King?
Under King, yep.
Forgive me.
What do you got?
Not
what do you got
not
left?
Great choices here.
No. It's pretty much the same choices you had, except for okay. Jerry Rig goes.
Except for Jerry Rig.
Get rid of that.
Yeah, and they go for the Jerry Rig. That'll help them split the other Wild Growth that they've got in their deck still, which is just good value. And they play the Under King. It gives them a little extra armor now, a little extra later, and it gets rid of the Stheno, which is huge.
Yeah. Getting me coming out with the scythe.
Even more armor now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's so powerful about Druid in this matchup, is it's just how are you going to do enough damage? And with one Sinful Brand out of the way, I'm not sure You Kidding Me's got the juice to do it.
Yeah. I think they're
8 cards in hand on 9. It looks like Jolt C is considering playing the Innervate into the Miracle Growth in the hope of finding Earthen Scales to complement that play. You could also just drop Astalor here twice and something else for 2. Looks like
there.
they
He
may
is.
go that way.
There's
Ooh,
Guff.
this is a nice offer. On the other hand, you got a piece of your win condition in a Nubricon right there, or Guff, which is just an insane card. They go with Guff here. It's going to give them extra armor, extra mana, and an extra Guff, I think, because they played it off of the Moonlight Guidance.
That's right. Extra Guff. Still looking for what's that 7-card dragon?
Topior?
Topior, there we go.
Yeah, Topior would be huge by way of adding pressure to the board, just persistent pressure. But man, I've got to tell you, I think that Joltsy's got it right here. They've got another Guff. They've got Earthen Scales and Miracle Growths. I don't know what You Kidding Me can do to get enough damage at this stage in the game. Their hand size isn't excellent. They're going to run out of draw soon.
Yeah.
They do find the second Sinful Brand, so that will be useful
Crypt
if
Keeper.
the Miracle Growth comes down. Or a Crypt Keeper, any minion with, more than 4 health on it.
Yeah.
But that's still... Yeah, so Joltsy's got to be careful here that he doesn't put something too big down, because then every single hit on that minion will be damage to...
Yep.
Damage to face.
Another Guff.
Guff for armor. Holding the Astalor, hopefully for a combo. I don't think you need to, because in this matchup you just want to survive, and eventually they'll run out of stuff and you'll be able to put big things down anyway.
This doesn't hurt, but it just gives them more targets to bump into.
Yeah, I see the reasoning for Crypt Keeper. You want to protect your face from their face. Demon Hunter's so good at generating attack for their hero, but it does have a little bit of extra health for the Sinful Brand.
Weapon.
However, You Kidding Me doesn't have a great way of getting more small minions on the board from hand. They may, yet in their deck, 5 cards left. I haven't been tracking what all they've played so far.
I think you got 5 cards left, so their Soulbounds are gone. If they use that one that's in their thing, that's just a +2.
Oof.
This doesn't...
Disappointing way to have to use that Sinful Brand. You're only going to get 3
ticks off it.
Hits off of it, so that's 6 damage, and they have to attack into it with their face. I don't know. I don't think it's... Yeah, okay. They know. They figured it out.
Jolt C coming back with the Druid.
Bad news for Jolt C is that they've got to play the Druid again, and it's going to be You Kidding Me's Rogue. And Rogue, if it is Miracle Rogue, can do some silly stuff. It's possible.
Miracle Rogue doesn't do anything. What are you talking about?
Oh, would that were true. Alas.
Nothing happens on Miracle Rogue. Want to thank all the
So we've got
viewers that kicked in watching this match. So we got Jolt C up 2-1. Over, you kidding me?
ooh, a good offer for Jolt C again right out of the gate, going first with the wild growth. Might choose to just keep the nourish if you're playing 40 cards because you'd hate to not find it in the next couple of draws, but you could kick that back and just trust that your deck will give you what you need. You kidding me? Not the best opening hand I imagined they'll full mulligan here, but let's see what we can do.
I have no clue how to play this rogue. So I've never touched rogue, even with concoction and all that stuff. I haven't tried it yet because it rattles my brain that bad.
It's certainly one of those decks where there are just so many things available that what's the right one? Who knows? Let's try this. I think that what they ended up with is slightly better, although they don't have any great way of discounting the null, unfortunately. So they're just gonna attack on one. Did Joltzy keep the Earthen Scales, or did they?
Yes,
yeah,
they kept...
draw a second Earthen Scales.
Nope. That's a good question. I wasn't paying attention. I was updating the other thing, but it looked like to me they did a full keep, but I could be wrong. Chat can let us know 10 minutes from now. But
surprised by an Earthen Scales keep, I suppose. It's sort of the safety thing in case you really need to heal up, but probably could have given that away. There's a lot of ways of drawing Earthen Scales in your deck. Tough turn 2 for you kidding me. You don't have anything clean to do. You don't really want to reveal that you're rogue yet, if you can help it. But
what do you mean? He just forfeited the game with Demon Hunter playing a dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not what you want if you're rogue in your first couple of plays. You want to get Druid out of you want to burn them down as quickly as you can. But now they're going to start to put the pressure on. They're able to get the null down. There's not a lot of great ways of answering that in the early game for
there's an answer.
Druid, although they will be able to cut it off Siflin the way.
Yeah. By the way, how about a Crypt Keeper?
Yeah, that was a really nice draw for Jolt C there. They'll be able to play that off of the hero power if they want. Oh, well.
A little bit of order thing, but it's one of those focused.
A little bit of a miss there, but
yeah, I think they were just focused on getting that down. Yep. So
yeah. With the second Jerry Rig Carpenter, or with the Jerry Rig Carpenter in hand, that's going to allow them to get both, mana ramp and draw. And the draw is going to be really important with the hand being what it is.
Yep.
However, you're really hoping for an Underking or something, because you do not want to leave that Putricide unanswered, and second Earthen Scales is not it.
Second Nourish is not really, unless you do draw a card. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you do it for the card draw there. You do find the Scale of Onyxia, which will help clear the board, but at the cost of minions dying, which is just going to feed the Putricide. And that's not awesome. You want to try and deny Rogue as many concoctions as you can. And man, when Putricide goes off, they're just a monster at putting just these huge value engines into your hand. Let's see what they do. They do have the location, and the longer that's in hand, the fewer turns you're putting giant ghosts on the board. They decide to deal 3 and destroy the 2/1. I'm surprised with all of the choices they've had from hand that they decided to do that, but maybe they were hoping for something better off of the Putrid side. They do get the card draw and their new mixed concoction.
Gelatinous.
They're gonna have to start.
Gelatinous. Jeez. Oh, there we go.
Good, they got the order right. And that juices up the Insatiable Devourer, so it's gonna be tricky now. One of the things that's exceptional about the 40 card Druid is it still runs these Insatiable Devourers, and if you compare one of those with Earth and Scales, man, just forget about it. You're never getting through that armor.
You can if the opponent doesn't have any more. Concedes. That's what I mean.
Yeah. You
know I won.
For a burn plan here.
Yeah. Big ghost coming out. I don't know what they're doing except
I'm not sure what they're doing either, to be honest with you. I think they're about to lose both of these preps, or they just play them out and get the. I see. One of them is the that ghost spell.
Is this?
But they held the other prep, which they're just going to lose. I'm not sure why they didn't play that one out to get the extra 1/1 on the Haunted Conscience. But
so Insatiable comes down. What does it get?
Could just drop it. I hope that they don't have the concoction that just destroys the minion.
And that's what it is. Destroy a random minion. Twice. Just in case it decided to come back.
Mm-hmm. They go for the card draw, which makes sense because they don't have another vehicle for drawing cards in their hand at the moment. 3 damage will destroy that whelp, kill the Devourer, which is good. You don't want to leave that up and let them put two Earth and Scales on it, but I'm not sure what their way out of this is.
Yeah.
Jolt C.
Big minion. Oh.
Yeah, you love having those miracle grows with exactly 8 cards in hand. It's a great break point, and at 10 mana you can get an Earth and Scales down. Just get a lot of healing. Drop a Crypt Keeper. What's not to love?
Well, if you kidding me, you're not loving that right now.
Yeah, if you're kidding me, there's a lot you don't love.
Wait a second, I'm supposed to be generating big boards.
Yeah.
Big minions, I should say.
Yeah. They can clear the 11/11 with the Krakatoa at the cost of hitting it with their face. It's not what you really want to do.
What is that?
To find a potion belt, that's big.
Yep.
And they find the dreadful. They do. So they've got to get lucky here if they're going to run it. 50-50. Oh, they do it.
They got the 50. They're 100% perfect.
Yeah, they've hit the right minions when necessary, but with 2 of the potion belts gone, Putricide out of the way, I think they've only got one of the 1/2 that gives you a random one left. So you're starting to run out of things to do, ways of putting pressure on Joltzi's Druid, and I think Joltzi's in a pretty good position here.
Yeah. With another miracle growth, you got to empty your hand out a little bit. That's a mistake I've made in the past, of just ripping that right away and like, oops.
Yeah.
Forgot room.
Yeah, and then you burn the Anubricon that you you want. But they've got a Scales of Onyxia, they've got an Underking here. They're really under no real threat.
Underking looks good right now.
It does. It looks like they may try and get Alistor out. It's nice to get the first stage of Astalor done when you can, because it makes the combo turn a little bit cleaner. But
You almost want to
do the
put big
Underking.
minions down too, just because they know that they have oh, they're only on 5. Okay, so I thought they already put the 5-1 down. 5 Astalor, 5 Mania, and Astalor.
Mm-hmm. No, not yet.
How about right now?
Right now, here it comes. Will it be enough? Probably not. It'll give you the armor, but right now, Jolt C is starting to just put board pressure on up against You Get Me, and that's gonna do the trick, even if they never find the pieces to their combo.
Yep, Shadow Step probably the Astalor as well. Take 4 to the face.
Yeah, get 10 armor. And they're just gonna throw the ghost at Joltski's face. Hope that playing 2 Astalors in a row will be enough pressure. Meanwhile,
Back at the ranch.
Joltski's really got a smorgasbord of options here.
Yep.
This can be one of the challenges with Ramp Druid is sometimes they're so efficient at card draw, you're not sure what to do with the things in your hand. You don't want to overdraw, as you mentioned previously, but you want to keep getting big things out there. Now they could throw the Innervate. It would be a little bit of a waste without Guff up, but I don't think they need to do that. They're just going to drop the Astalor. No.
I could see the pause for it.
Oh, they ripped the Miracle Growth with 9 cards in hand, so they will burn a couple of things.
Oh, Bran, but the Bran's okay.
It was the Bran. Bran is typically a part of that combo, but I mean, Jolt C is in such a strong position right now. I'm not sure that.
Did get that Earthen Scales off, but I guess it doesn't really matter. 12 on board, 17, 20, 37.
We say it doesn't matter, but those 2 misses might make a difference with 2 Astalors. I don't know that they can get with 30 health right now. The next Astalor will only do 16. Got a 10-3 taunt in the way.
The 5's gone.
And
yep. There's your friend.
Yeah, and that's the second Astalor because they drew the first one off of Moonlit Guidance, I believe. So they're just gonna play this out right now. Now this battle cry is not being doubled, which is why you love to have Bran, but when you have a second opportunity with the Astalor, it hardly makes a difference. And they will get the Earthen Scales off this time to heal for another 8, putting them at 37. And a huge board, so the Astalor that You Kitten Me's got in their hand, it's just not going to do what they want it to do.
Yep. How many cards left? 7. So is Edwin really going to do much here, or is it just?
No, I don't think so, because it doesn't do anything except pick up the stats. It is dormant right now, and on board, Jolt C's got lethal, so they need a way to clear this board from Jolt C or kill them right now, and I just don't think they have the tools for it. They're running out of cards in the deck.
Although they're building a big Edwin.
Yeah, they are getting a big Edwin. They do have the Dreadful Concoction in hand. They could
Oh,
Wow.
look at that.
And they do hit the 9/9.
Straight through the middle, folks. Straight in the middle.
Yeah, those dreadful concoctions have been hitting what they're supposed to.
Sniping. They're not just
That
hitting, they're sniping.
They sure are.
Wow.
Now, that 14-14 does present a problem. It is a problem that Jolt C can deal with the scale and the minion on board right now. They seem interested in playing the second Guff. They've only got 5 cards left in their deck, too.
Yep, they haven't played.
It's their game to lose.
Yeah, they only had one Guff so far, right now.
Yeah, this is the first that Guff's hit their hand. Pretty disappointing to, have it in the bottom 6 of your deck, but they're in an okay position. 1 card left for You Kidding Me. 1 Astalor, 1 Krakatoa.
I think you poke, throw the whelps out there, and then take care of the board. What do you hope for? Chitness? Couldn't spit it out fast enough. Oh, there's a
Tightness, yeah.
16.
Well, this is a clean 16, but you got to be careful now because you don't want to play the Ghostly Strike and they just throw away the Door of Shadows, which I'm not sure why, because you still have the location in hand and it's not going to do a whole lot, but you can use that to get some stats on the board.
Oh.
But with the Underking,
the Overking, Underking, whatever you want to call it.
the Underking off of the Moonlit Guidance means they can just draw a second one right here to hopefully withstand whatever You Kidding Me has left in hand. They decide not to run it into the Astalor. So
Colossal.
Krakatoa does come down. That will clear the Underking. They play the Graveyard out after. So the order there was a little bit questionable. You Kidding Me is getting some damage in here now.
19.
Down to 19. But You Kidding Me is functionally just out of cards. They've got 1 in hand, deals 1 damage. Everything they have on board is all that's left. So all Jolt C needs to do is take care of it.
Yep.
They do have 1 Underking. They do have Astalor. They do not have Guff up yet, so they can't do as much as they might otherwise, but they will be able to clear the Krakatoa. A little bit of hesitation playing the Chitinous Plating, but I think it's the right call right now. You just need to survive.
Endure. Yep. It's taking what? 13 damage?
14 damage.
Yeah, 13 damage. Oh, he doesn't run. Doesn't run the dragon.
Oh, and he's gonna play Guff, which will draw a card, which accelerates their fatigue a little bit. So this has turned out to be a little bit closer of a game than I was expecting it to be here, but with You Kidding Me already on 3 fatigue there, Astalor in hand for Jolt C. You can get 1 last ghost out of this location. And that's probably going to be it.
Yeah. So
well played from You Kidding Me. They know that the writing's on the wall.
see what survives.
Just attack face and win the game. On you can me's draw.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
That was a close match. Congrats
close
to
match
Joel
in the
C.
end.
Yeah.
Well done, Jolt C. Druid doing the work for this hero match, and that's going to be a great win for another pleasant meeting. It's going to essentially guarantee their win this week, it looks like.
Yep.
And a tough break for Sorry Lads.
Just asking Jolt C if they're able to do a quick interview. Get them be 2 or 3 minutes. So, all right, they're ready to go. So I'm just going to invite them here.
Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Not bad.
Put the kids to bed.
Yeah, got the
And
kids to bed, no problem.
Yep. Then Druid came in and stomped all over.
Yeah. So the way it
Congratulations.
happened, right?
Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
So, what was your plan walking into tonight's match?
So tonight's match, tonight's match was basically after I saw the lineups, I was more or less looking at the matchups and told myself, all right, I have no good matchups in Dagger Mage, so I'm just going to ban it at 0. So I decided to then decide what can I target, and with Face Hunter, I thought I could get at least through the Demon Hunter and the Rogue, and I was hoping I knew that I could be able, if I had the Ramp Druid, I'd be able to get through Demon Hunter, and then I didn't think I'd be able to get through the Rogue. I thought that was going to be a freebie, but I was able to pull it through. But
Yeah, what was the thought process behind bringing Druid? Druid's what won you the match, and I love seeing Druid. It looks like several other members of your team brought it as well, but it's less popular than I would expect for one that seems to be so effective against the Demon Hunter and, as you just showed, the Rogue even.
yeah. The reason why I brought the Druid is because there's two extremes. You can either go with the ramp or you can go with aggro. So just opening up the possibilities of depending what my opponent's lineups are, and to be able to react to what they bring. So just being able to have an option in my back pocket for regardless of what their matchup is or what their lineup is.
Well, it paid off, and congratulations on the win. It was a close one there on that last game, and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. I teched specifically the Devourer into Rogue just to see if that would make a difference, but it obviously did at the beginning there, just to eat up the one. I think it was an 8/8 minion or something like that, but just to be able to bring that in there I remember from Nathria, it was one of those things where if you were able to get that down, and people would play around it, but would anybody remember that's still actually in standard?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great match. So I was kind of curious about the 7-mana dragon. I keep forgetting what the name
Topior.
Topior, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought that might be still in your deck because we didn't get to see it, but as this last match ended, it wasn't there. It's like, okay, all right.
No, yeah, I decided to drop it just because I wanted to get the combo out faster, and I figured the best way to beat Demon Hunter, because I wasn't playing against a field, I knew I was playing. I knew the lineup, or I assumed the lineups I was playing against. I just wanted as much health gain as possible, as much armor gain as possible.
That's
get through the Rogue and get through the Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
They have so much. They have so many, so many minions and so much damage that they can do that just keep piling on the armor as high as I can go.
That makes total sense. So perfect. Well, any final words before we let you go for the evening?
No, always fun. Just had a good time. I appreciate it, and thank you again.
You got it. Hustle, you got anything?
That's all. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun to watch, and good luck with the rest of your season.
So thank you.
Take care.
Thanks. All right.
Okay. Bye bye. All right. So it brings us to our legacy match. I just got to switch the screen around here. Bear with me. Which has a couple THL known individuals with Wild9 coming in for his team, Defias. Both are 1 seeds in this match, and this one's going to determine who wins the week. Then we got Andy Rogers, fellow caster for Friday Night Fights, representing Copa Keepers. Haven't got bans just yet, but I guess they're working on that. So if you want to go over the classes real quick while I'm talking to the players, we can figure out.
I would be happy to. Wild9 has brought Hunter, Mage, Rogue, and Shaman, while Andy Rogers has brought Demon Hunter, Mage, Rogue, and also Shaman, which is fun to see. I don't see a lot of Shaman on ladder these days, but every time I do, it's always a fun game. And on the few iterations where I've gotten to play it, it's a lot of fun. It's, I think, pretty underrated, probably less popular than it is powerful, and I'm excited. I hope it isn't the ban. I don't think it will be, but I'd love to see some Shaman in this match between these two 1 seeds.
So we do have the bans in. What the bans are is a mirror ban, so it is a double rogue.
Double rogue.
Rogue bans aplenty. So if you wanted to see Rogue, you're not going to see it. Gonna have to try some other Twitch channel, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of Twitch channels you can go to if you we're hoping to see Rogue, but
Rogue versus
with
Rogue.
Rogue out, we'll get the chance to see Mage and Shaman, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. The one difference in each other's lineups being now the Demon Hunter and the Hunter for Wild9.
Yeah, so I'm just going to let the players know right now that they can rock and roll.
I just want to make sure that I have these both.
So Andy Rogers is going to be first to spectate. So you at the bottom of the screen for our viewers, and Wild9 will be at the top. So this is for all the marbles this week between these two teams. So all right, so just making sure we got all our players intact. And now we're just waiting for the spectate button to be active. I miss my eyeballs, Blizzard. We need the eyeballs to let us know people are jumping into game.
Now, it is possible for Defias to win and for Copa's Keepers to still force the draw. All they need is 2 wins. So if this goes to 5, then the overall match will be tied at 14.
Right. So Wild9 said he doesn't see you, but do you see him?
I see Wild9 in the top. I just accepted them, so maybe it
Takes a second. Okay.
takes a second.
All right. There's spectate. So we got Andy Rogers kicking in here. I don't know what status the match is right now because it is. There we go. Okay. So we got Wild9 bringing Shaman versus Andy Rogers Mage.
Oh, this is so exciting. Mage to lead. What now? Have you had a chance to play with the Mage at all? I have been frustrated by it. I've had a difficult time figuring out how to make it work, but I'm excited to see Andy Rogers play it.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, this is the aggro mage.
Ooh, and they throw out the Arcane Worm pretty fast. They drew Iron Deep Trog off the top. I wonder if they played a little bit faster then.
That's a good question. I know Wild 9 is pretty
They needed
methodical,
to.
dude. Yeah. So and that Neptulon you don't like to see in your hand early. But
Not typically. Typically, you want to draw into it, but if they can find, man, I forget the name of the card. It's the 5-cost 5/6 that lets you replace a minion from your board with one from your hand. Then
yep.
maybe you'll love it. Maybe you'll get that out by 5, and then you'll love having Neptulon in your hand. Andy Rogers, meanwhile, looks like they just want to put the pressure on as fast as they can, coining out the Frostweave Dungeoneer, get a bunch of minions on board. Every spell in this deck is a frost spell, so you're always going to get the 2 frosted elementals.
So this
Not
match,
a lot of choices for Wild 9.
no. Stuck with his piranhas. Throwing
Yeah,
3
it's a
piranhas
pretty.
out here right now feels bad. So
It does feel bad. You don't really want to use your piranhas to clear a bunch of 2/1/1s in a 2/3, but with Prescience coming up next, you're going to be able to get 2 taunts on the board, which and draw 2 big minions to your hand. And if one of those minions is that card I mentioned earlier, then you'll be able to get Neptulon out fast, and that will be challenging to deal with for Andy Rogers.
Time for the finishing touch.
Wild 9 decides not to play all 3, to leave the 2/3 up, and just to get rid of the minions that freeze. I guess anticipating that they might be able to get their weapon.
to our viewers out there that are experiencing the THL, this is a Legacy series, which just goes by the normal Conquest standard format. So if a player wins with their class, then they can't use that class anymore and move on to the next classes that's available to them. So
Turn 4. They have 2 cold cases, but their board is pretty full.
yep.
Looks like they're considering the Arc Splitter, which would, upon its death, give them some arcane bolts. And they've got Deathborn in hand, so if they can maintain a wide board with 2 or less health, they'll be able to get a lot of value with Deathborn.
Yep. I always forget you can murder your own side if you wanted to. So
Yeah. It's one of the things that makes Deathborn so powerful is it just recycles your board and gives you a bunch of skeletons that will also deal damage, and that can be huge.
Wild 9
Now,
picking that up.
Wild 9 does have the Null in hand, and they do have Convincing Disguise, but they don't have a lot of ways of getting other minions out. And with both of these Convincing Disguises infused, you kind of hope to be able to get a little bit more value out of that. But it does look like they're going to play out the Null. They have a Piranha Swarmer, and they can get a Totem down.
Probably going to do 2 piranhas.
I think they used the other 2.
Oh yeah, they
but
did.
They decided to trade the Piranha instead.
Ooh, a Rakara. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Okay. Do you just throw your freeze down now? But wow.
I don't know, because you're gonna then get a
Yeah.
bunch more trogs, which I suppose isn't the worst thing in the world, except that you might be worried about Deathborn ultimately.
Time for the finishing touch.
And you just
Meanwhile, Andy Rogers has 2 flurries in hand, and that's going to be a huge help.
Yep. Deathborn coming for sure. Next turn.
Yeah, so if you're Wild 9, that means that you're definitely not going to be playing your Tiny Toys. It means you kind of want to avoid playing Prescience, which leaves you without a whole lot of options. You did draw the Primordial Wave right off the top, which could be a good way of dealing with, you've got the Arc Splitter, you've got some Trogs. They do it.
Okay. 12-12's nice.
12-12 is nice. Leaves a bunch of little bitty things on Andy Rogers' turn 6, but you were already in that position to begin with. To get another flurry.
Wow. It's snowing.
I'm surprised that Wild 9 went for the totem there, as that just adds value for Andy Rogers' Deathborn, which you've got to assume they have.
And that's going to also trigger the big boy there, Death Killer.
Yeah,
Death Chiller.
Yeah, this Death Chiller was a pretty nice roll for Andy Rogers off of Wild 9's devolve, I guess, because with all of these spells, it's just going to continue dealing damage, and it's this threat that Wild 9 sort of needs to deal with here.
Glug coming down and now going to reverse freeze. Just 2 though. Another
At 12
Deathborn.
health, Deathborn, freeze, Deathborn can't also hero power.
Yeah. I don't know how Glug works if you...
Sorry?
Oh, okay, never mind. I think he's just... There we go. Might just win it with the Frozen Touch coming in on the back end once things die.
Oh, and then that hits the face, so you can just win it with the Frozen Touch.
Yeah. Frozen Touch, double tap. And it's done.
Good on it. Yeah, good on Andy Rogers, looking for what's the most efficient way to win here. And that was it. That was just using Frozen Touch as it should be used, taking advantage of the infuse mechanic. Good game by Andy Rogers there with the mage.
Casters 1, up 0. So Wild 9 is an up for those that didn't know. And so Andy's mage is done with a win, and now they come back super fast here. So we got Wild 9 with a mage and Andy Rogers with Demon Hunter.
Yeah, Wild 9 switches from the shaman to the mage and throws away everything but the Frostweaved Engineer. They do draw Egwin, which is great. It's one of the higher win rate cards in the mulligan, so you love getting what you want when you send cards back. But it's pretty good opening hand for Andy Rogers too. You've got the Sigil of Liquidity. They're already on 2, and you can trade the Need for Greed as well. Shame not having one of your 2 drops on 2 for Wild 9. You kind of want to start generating that value to burn Demon Hunter down as fast as you can. You don't want to give them time, and you do put a board down eventually, and the closer you get to turn 6, the less and less effective those are going to be.
Okay. Well, the need for greed coming out. Do you throw that in there? Of course you do.
You sure do. That's the best case scenario on turn 3 is to draw your Need for Greed. It's going to complete that leg of the quest. It's going to further discount things like that spectral sight. Let's see if they're at 9, so they don't have to play another card, but they could coin Sigil.
Yeah, nine cards.
They could coin Fell Barrage if they decided they didn't want to leave these minions that freeze up. And when you're Demon Hunter, minions that freeze are a problem because you so frequently want to be able to use your hero to attack.
Agreed. So Andy's just thinking, okay, do I do it? Or do I save it? He's going to get his face frozen for a couple turns anyway. Unless he gets rid of the... Oh, Fell Barrage, okay. Didn't see the Fell Barrage in his hand right off the hat, so smart.
Yeah. He decides to do it. Says, I've got enough things in my hand that will increase my attack that it's worth getting rid of those right now. You also don't know what other minions may end up with 1 health on the opponent's board and make it less likely for you to hit the ones you want. So just getting rid of them there. This is good. The Feldori Warband was discounted to 3, which is going to let them get a little burn on Wild Nine's face, and then draw with the Feast of Souls, which I think will complete the second leg of the quest, discounting a whole bunch of cards in the process. Man, they're just rolling with this Demon Hunter.
Keep rolling,
I think that does put them at 10. So they would like to get rid of something. They do have the Dispose of Evidence, which will get rid of 2 cards from hand for them.
Yeah. Yeah, Spectral Sight you definitely don't want to throw. And Bounce Hold doesn't get you anywhere because it just puts the card back in your hand. So yeah. Does he throw it or does he care about burning a card? I would care.
Yeah, it looks like... I would care too, but Andy Rogers decides that they're pretty comfortable with the way things are right now, that they don't mind risking one of their cards. And Wild Nine is considering trying to drop Egwin here. I'm inclined to think that that's probably a reasonable move because I don't know when else in the course of this game you're going to be able to get Egwin down.
Mm-hmm.
But it does put a 5/5 on the board after all of that from Andy Rogers, and that's going to make you super vulnerable to the Sinful Brand. Here comes Steno.
Oh, God. So...
And this is about to be a mess for
I'm
Wild
just
Nine.
Wondering if it's going to be lethal. Does he have... Throw that to face. It's close to...
Sometimes you just don't count and you just go for it.
Yeah, I think they're close. Oh. No. Okay.
Yeah, not quite. But with all of these 0-cost spells, sort of just...
Oh, yeah.
Get it
Oh,
all.
my goodness. Get Need for Greed out of here.
4 off of lethal.
Look at that. If he was able to punch out another card. Yep.
Yeah, 2 mana off of lethal there, but not really a whole lot of ways for Wild Nine to get out of this situation, unfortunately. They do have cards that would allow them to gain armor, just not enough armor.
Yeah, Frozen Touch and a Ping seems wasteful. That's 4 mana gone versus Centeno to get that off the board, but
And they will clear the Steno with the Arcane Bolts.
There you go.
Heal
Okay.
for 4. Will that be enough? You know, you got the 2 minions on board, which helps with the Fel Barrage. It helps with the Mark of Scorn.
Yeah.
But with the Bouncel and the Unleash Fel, I think that's probably it. Because it would be 4, 5, and then you could Mark of Scorn. So that'd be 6. Might not be.
Close. See what Andy's looking at here. Six mana.
It's the mat, I think. Yeah, 2 off lethal, I think.
Yeah.
I just don't have the mana for it yet. So do you just do that and bring them down to, I think it would bring them down to 2? Or do you throw up the sigil and draw?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Pressure's
You
not an
find
issue.
a spectral side
Oh.
up the top and draw a whole bunch.
Bing.
Why not also complete the quest for good measure?
Peh. Complete the quest on turn 6. You know.
Frozen Buckler.
Wow, Frozen Buckler. What a card to have.
What a discover for Wild 9 there. Will that be enough? I'm not sure, but man, 10 armor.
Tune in next week.
Off of a discovers.
Yeah. Look at that. This is going to upset Andy here. Looking at what you thought was going to be lethal next term is now.
It's up to 16 for the time being.
Oh, that scythe is 4. Spell damage. Here you go. 3.
They are going to go for the spell damage.
Yep. Big 3. Yeah, it gets sniped right away, which was expected. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're down to 4.
Down to 4.
And up to 30. So it's going to be a tough. It's going to be tough for Wild 9 to call together 30 on this turn, and they've got to know that they kind of have to here. They drew the Amplified Snow Fury, so for 2 you get the +2 spell damage and the opportunity to freeze, but spending 2 mana to freeze Andy Rogers doesn't feel good, but it might be what they need to do.
Yeah, I think that's the only out right now. Snow Flurry, Ping Face.
And then just start trying to get some burn down.
Andy's down to 5 cards in his deck, but he's basically knocking on the doorstep.
Oh, I forgot that Snow Flurry discounts the hero power, so that's a great way of hopefully stalling. And we get the well played from Wild 9. I think it's over.
I think he's thinking there's a Fel Barrage or something coming the way, maybe, or what's that 4 card again? That 4 damage.
Yes, of course, that one.
Can't remember what it's called. We just saw it a few minutes ago. So
Warband, I found.
There we go.
Dory Warband. While 9 survived, they don't want to draw Savara here. Oh, that was a great draw. Can they do it though?
They need 17.
These frozen touches aren't infused. They don't have a way to infuse them, so they'd be 3. So +3 spell damage would put those at 6, 12. I think they just found it.
Wow. Oh gosh, that is awesome. Anybody able
Yeah,
to
that
clip
was
that? I didn't see that myself, but
that was a game. That was a lot of fun to watch. Well done, Wild 9, not giving up, playing to your outs, and finding the win in a really, really tough game.
so now we're tied. Ops 1, Casters 1. All right, so what do we queue up next if you're Wild 9?
Your Wild 9, I think you queue up Hunter, but they go with Shaman.
Bring the fury of the elements.
I play.
Shaman, of course.
Yeah, Shaman is interesting because it is very board centric, which, if you get a slow start, can just be the kiss of death against the Demon Hunter. But
Yep.
they do have the muck pools in hand. They do have the schooling.
Ooh.
So, and they
Oh
find
god, this is gonna be so
the
bad.
nulls. So they might just win off of that.
Yeah,
They
get that.
do.
Go ahead.
They do have the coin. They're playing second, so they're going to be able to do just some dirty stuff here, and that's going to be rough for Andy Rogers to see.
Wild 9 did this to me in our match, Pro Series match. So came up with a Lothar. So we'll see if what card comes back for Wild 9. If he had a Lothar, then that's not good.
Yeah, it could just hit another Wild Null, which would be the best case scenario for Andy Rogers. But boy, oh boy, you hate to see this.
And drum roll. What do we get? Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh boy.
How to high roll in one easy step.
You honor me.
Oh, double. And here's an answer. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, you can use the Fair Barrage.
Wow.
You have the answer, but you get another null right there that you can play again next turn for
Yeah.
once the cooldown on the muck pools ends.
So another high roll coming up.
Yeah, with 2 Fell Barrages gone, that's a lot of potential damage that you can no longer send to their face. That you had to use on turn 3 just to clear this huge turn 2 threat. So
Yeah.
we're about to see another null come down for Wild 9, and can Andy Rogers deal with 2?
Well, Andy Rogers likes to churn through his quests. That's what we know for sure. So
Yeah, they are moving fast through that quest progression.
2 times? Nah.
But you get the Sidon Athreus, which is still pretty good roll. You don't get
Yep.
the Wind Fury, but you do get the Lifesteal, 10-10 instead of an 8-8. And I don't know, you can, if you're Andy Rogers, you have 2 Predations, you have a Mark of Scorn. You can't get them all down.
Nope.
So you're in a bit of a pickle.
Draw some more, discount more.
Stand.
Wow. You know, if Wild 9 didn't just have the nuts,
Yeah.
Andy Rogers would be in really great shape here. But what do you do when you get 2 nulls down in 4 turns with the muck pools? That's tough.
Yep. Andy sitting on this one to see what if he should drag out another soulbound minion or bring out another minion to his hand. How does he get? 9. Okay.
Yeah, they're at 9.
Because if you get Centeno, then be able to discount the perdition, right?
Yeah, you could, but because it costs 0, there's not really any harm in waiting until next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll protect you against anything that could disrupt from hand, which I think in Evolved Shaman is just going to be Shadowhunter Vol'jin. But may as well wait, see what else comes down, see if you need to do anything differently, make
Yeah.
a different choice.
So we know 10's
And
coming
just tank
downstairs.
10.
Yep. 10's coming downstairs. You're overkilling on your heal. Boom.
Yeah, just this. I don't have anything that good to play. Let's just
I'll
lean
hold.
into the side of Athreus.
Yep. Soul
No.
Centeno. Then we're.
Demon Hunter may be able to deal with this now.
But it's going to attack the two. Okay. It's going to attack the two totems first. Yeah, you don't give a shit about heal. Do you want it?
You don't want to draw yet, but you do eventually. Looks like Andy Rogers is considering aiming at a minion. Not sure I understand why you wouldn't send that face, except if you didn't plan on playing the second predation. Because Steno was always going to clean those up, and
Yep.
it seemed like a cleaner distribution of the damage, but maybe they saw something I don't. Well, you get a lot of draw.
Andy's got a nice hand.
Yeah, Andy's done a great job.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and he's done a great job navigating these huge threats that Wild 9 put down early, and still has 18 health. Has been.
This is interesting.
With their game plan, so.
Oh. All right.
Explosive sheep. That's nice.
Kind of nice for Wild 9 too if the sinful brand is smacked. There you go.
Now, Andy's counter pressuring Wild 9 here. They're going to be able to just attack with a lot and get their health total down low. Wild 9 does have Brucon of the Elements in hand, but we'll need to wait a turn before they can play it. And that's, I think, the only healing that they play in their deck.
Tiny toys.
This is
what
good.
do we get?
They were able to use that convincing disguise, so that makes the tiny toys super good. Oh, pretty good roll.
Bunch of 7s across the board now. The sinful.
Yeah, this is
going to be over, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing to do because on one hand you want to get these threats out, and in any other matchup this would be a terror.
Game
but
over.
Now with the double sinful brand, it's just done.
Yeah.
Although, how will Andy Rogers trigger the sinful brands? They do not have Feldori Warband in hand. I don't see other minion generation in hand either. So what would they have to do to be able to actually proc those? And that Mountain Bear coming down means they can't just send a bunch of damage face. So they're going to have to try and clear, it looks like.
Yeah.
Or at least heal, but...
Silver Moon coming down with Fell, Unleashed Fell. Double Sinful Brand. Okay.
The arcane surge within me. I see you know all the notes.
Okay. I think that was Andy's way of saying, oops.
15, 21, 25,
Yep.
and Bloodlust. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that worked out great for Wild 9. Andy Rogers just didn't have the Warband there to take advantage of that position and ends up losing with the Demon Hunter, which is a surprise to me. But Wild 9 getting it done with the Shaman, what a well-played game on their part.
Yep.
That's going to leave the Hunter for Wild 9.
Yep. Hunter left for Wild 9, which I'm going to guess is going to be the... Could be Big Hunter or Beast Hunter.
Yeah, it could
And
be Beast, could be Spitter. Looks like it might be
Face.
Face Hunter again. By again, I mean in reference to we saw Jolt C run Face Hunter in their hero match in the last game. Andy Rogers switching over to the Shaman and starts with the Nolan hand. Carving Chisel, that's pretty good.
So, Game 4 coming in hot with Wild 9 on top 2-1 over Andy Rogers.
Now, if Wild 9 can clinch just one more win, they'll... oh, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. So Andy Rogers has already guaranteed the tie.
That's right. Yep.
So that's big for the Copa keepers.
Trying to think so.
Shogun 1 is always good, but the Chisel will help. Except if you have Doggy Biscuit in hand. Which is going to really limit how fast Andy Rogers can get this null down. Because it makes schooling a little bit of a liability here, but I wonder if you just got to do it.
Yeah. And hopefully with your hand size being big, you can handle a trog or two. But you're looking for your your happy-go-lucky muck pools or your disguise, yeah. So
yeah, you would prefer muck pools to disguise so you could get more values out of disguise, but they do have the convincing disguise in hand on the left, which means they will be able to drop the null next turn. And because the ramming mount.
So here it comes.
You just got to do it. You just got to say, this is the best play.
Yep. I'm going to get my Lothar now. Nope. Going to get my Denathrius. So.
Not a Lothar, but I'll take a Denathrius.
I'll take a Denny.
Denathrius is going to be trouble for Wild 9 because when you're playing Face Hunter, you would really like to go face. And when you've got a 10-10 that heals on the board, that's going to...
You have a slight distraction. A slight 10-10 distraction.
You've got to deal with this. And an aim shot. You have Astalor.
Nope. Aim shot could do what?
It'll just help you do 3, I think. You know, I think at the moment it's early enough in the game that you can just dedicate a lot of what you have to clearing this, but you would much rather have been sending all of this sending this face, and it looks like they're going to keep 2 Trogs on board, make it difficult for Andy Rogers to cast spells.
Yeah.
Trust that you'll be able to deal with Denathrius on your next turn. It does look like they chose aimed shot, so they just need to keep 1 2-attack minion on board, and they'll be able to deal with it.
Heal. And he gets it. Okay.
Wow. So, oh, and they took the doggy biscuit over the aimed shot. That will be enough, although you just have to sacrifice it all.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's worth the sacrifice and taking another 10 to the dome, but
yes, I agree. It puts you in an awkward position with the rest of what you have available to you, but you get another Trog down. Bad, I
You
guess, is pretty good.
you got Brand next turn. Ooh, muck pools. Okay.
Now, this is a rough position to be in if you're Wild 9 because you just know Bloodlust kills you.
Yep. Bloodlust
But you
kills
do
you.
have Tavish. And so if you can find Explosive Trap, improved Explosive Trap, then that should get you out of this because I don't believe Bloodlust buffs health, just attack. And these minions are 2/2.
Correct. I don't think he's got any other out here. Yeah. You just rolling. What does he get?
Trouble is,
Oh, trap.
you find the Explosive Trap. So the trouble is now that Andy Rogers will assume that that's been found and can deal with this board without giving up their minions. And if they find Evolve, then they can get minions that would survive the Explosive Trap. So Wild 9 still is going to need to deal with this.
Yeah. Andy was hoping for that other 1-cost spell. Or a the evolve wave thingy.
Yes.
Maybe you might find it. Oh, well, improve ice trap.
Yeah, that'll get in the way. Convincing disguise.
Could get. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah, I was surprised it didn't run with the prescience there and hope that you get another big minion with, but it's you're always happy to find Wild Paw Cavern, especially on the discount there. So
Yeah. Does a Huffer come out this
as long
time?
as you continue to, always. Wild 9's in a tougher and tougher position. Andy Rogers has been doing a good job controlling the board, and Wild 9 is quickly running out of cards in hand. And once they start going off the top of their deck, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But Twinbro Terror Coil into Wild Spirits will be a good bit of tempo here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they do have some armor gain from Astalor in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they take some to face, they can heal back up a little bit. And with only 3 minions out and a taunt minion up for Wild 9, Bloodlust isn't the most tenable play here. But all they have to do is just keep putting stuff down.
So you have muck pools right now? Yeah. Okay. And do the The
Faceless.
manipulator. Yep.
Mhm.
Ugh. Guess it's the best one out of. Is there another better 7
Yeah.
or 6 card? I'm trying to think of what's out there for 6 mana.
There's probably 6-drops out there that are a little bit better able to survive, but I don't think you're ever mad at getting Fire Elemental. And it will survive an explosive trap. What may be limiting Andy Rogers is it looks as though they aren't sure if it's a motion denied yet. So that would be 9 damage if it is a motion denied.
Yeah.
But they're sitting pretty at 29, so I don't think they're too worried about it. We'll get another Wild Spirits off the top. You're going to keep putting bodies on the board.
Ooh. Okay. 3 there.
You have 2 taunt minions up.
Soon to be 3. But those 2 disappear. There's a. Ooh, there we go.
Oh boy.
Enough mana to throw that on there. And then do you bump?
Yeah.
You bump and then you change,
Yeah,
right?
I think you bump. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to give them as few as possible.
Oh, there's.
Oh, you found the Onyxia.
Yeah.
So they can clear one more thing. Wild 9 did get a Divine Shield minion, which is nice, but now they've got this board that it's a pretty big threat when you only have 1 card in hand and it's Astalor.
Oh, there's I think a good Misha. Yeah, take 8 to the face, and then.
And you just hope, I think.
Yeah. You have Bloodlust here?
I think you can. He's going to do it.
Double Bloodlust, and I think that's lethal?
Is that enough?
2, 3? Yeah, I think that's enough.
12,
Yeah, 100.
19.
He's got to look out for the low cost. There you go. Okay, I was just going to say.
Yeah. You just got to use the right minions, but.
Yeah. There we go.
And that brings it to game 5.
Best words in THL. Game 5, everybody.
Game 5. It's going to
Always
be
like to see game
Wild
5.
Nines. It's going to be Wild Nines Hunter against Andy Rogers' Demon Hunter. What do you think of that matchup?
Well, if Andy's been drawn like the way he's been drawn, I think it's going to be over quick.
I've got to imagine that the bring of Face Hunter is specifically to try and burn down Demon Hunter as quickly as possible.
Yeah. That is the goal. So decks go fast is pretty much what it's down to now.
Mm-hmm. Good offer to Andy Rogers with the Sigil of Alacrity, and it's okay what Wild Nine's got. I think that you prefer to get the Trog, but as long as you got the curve, you're doing all right. Trog is less effective when you're on the coin because you can't get it down before the quest goes up. But and they do find the Hawkstrider, which will make clearing any board that they do put down difficult.
Final showdown. Come on, everybody sing it.
Everybody. So now, if you're Wild 9, you have a choice next turn. You can coin into one of your 3 drops, like the Hawkstrider Rancher, for example. Or you just play your curve. You could play K9 and hope to find a Trog. But I think when you're going up against Demon Hunter, you just say, let's make this as
YOLO.
hard for you as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This makes a lot of sense. And next turn, you will have 2 minions you can play, K9atron and Vicious Slither Spear. Both of them will benefit from the Hawkstrider Ranch if Andy Rogers can't deal with it.
Info brand comes out.
Oh, and I think they can deal with it.
Spell and
Well,
Fury.
they could even dispose of evidence into
True.
Fury and just attack it, but you will lose the value of the Sinful Brand you just put into the Hawkstrider. You get 2 damage to the face, but that's not what you want to get from your Sinful Brand.
Nope. He
Oh, and they
decides to
decide to
leave
leave
it.
it up.
Okay.
Says I've got 2 Unleash Fells. Do your worst.
And here it comes. Ooh. The peasant or the spear or the slither spear.
Yeah, I like choosing the Slither Spear here. You're so unlikely to get the value off of the peasant, and you get so much more staying power with the Slither Spear. Plus, every spell you cast is going to buff it. I think that was the right call.
Andy just going to get rid of that 2/5. Add 2. Wild
So
9
ends
did.
up having to do that anyway. I was probably hoping to draw Feldori Warband there instead, but couldn't find it. And now it's just this pressure is going to be unrelenting from Wild 9. You've got this 4 health breakpoint, which is going to be more than 1 Unleashed Fel can do with the spell damage minion.
Yeah. 6 Fel Barrage. Oh, he only got.
That's pretty tough. So you can clear a few things. And you certainly don't want to leave the peasant up, because if you're ever getting out of this, you have to deny card draw to Wild 9.
Yep. That 6 damage is not going to that peasant, though. That's Unleashed Fel is definitely coming out. Or, yeah, it's got to be that, because mana-wise, I don't think that's.
Wow.
He's in a
They have to
difficult position.
Yeah, they have to choose now to use the Unleashed Fel without healing.
Yeah.
Or hope that you can survive. You can't survive this another turn, so you just gotta do it, I suppose. Oof.
7 to face.
I think that might be it.
Yep.
You've got
So we got 5, 7.
7. Yep, that's it. That'll do it.
He's got
With the
lethal.
aim shot.
Wow.
I see you know all the notes.
There we go. Bam.
And that's why you bring Face Hunter, I suppose.
That's how Face Hazard does.
So,
Well, congratulations to Wild 9. I think their team just barely squeaks the win, if I remember correctly. So they're at 10 points.
I think it's a tie.
It's a tie? Okay.
Right? Did Andy Rogers take 2 wins? I think so.
He
That'll
did,
put them
yeah.
both at 14.
All right. So Wild 9 has agreed to jump in here, so that's good. And see if Wild 9's able to jump in. And my fellow Op versus Caster, and Op wins, of course.
How's it
I do
going,
WoW
Clapper?
9.
I'm doing good. Those were
Oh
some
man,
pretty tight games, I feel like. So
it was. Yes. Um, must be feeling pretty good though, getting the win. We were trying to figure out if this turns it into a tie for your team, or you actually get the points to win. Because
should
Andy
be
had
a tie.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a tie. Yeah. So
yeah.
Hustle
I mean, it's
Hustle
well
was saying it was
deserved. Like,
100%.
we, yeah. I mean, our team got a lot of points, but I think out of the 5, we only won 2 matches, right? This one and the 5 seed. So,
Mm.
but I don't know. I thought I was gonna get swept, so so it was getting the win in any fashion is good.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, what was your favorite moment besides winning Game 5? There was so many, like, Andy drew so well with that Demon Hunter, like
It was
churning
I
churning the
just
quests out like it was just sandwiches.
he kept completing second stage by like turn 5.
I
I was
know.
like, what's going on? This is like not how whenever I play Demon Hunter, this is not how the game works.
Yeah, totally unfair. But you had your own stroke of luck there too with your shaman, kicking out
Yeah, but did
Lotheb.
I did win that. Did I win that? I don't
I
even
think you
remember.
did. I think you did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, he just had answers though.
he did.
So
Yeah, he had
I
two
was like,
fell
okay, like
barrages.
yeah, I was like, okay, the only thing that answers this on turn 3 is 2 fell barrages. Like at least like do one and let me get 16 points of damage in. Like, come on. Like, what is that?
Yeah. Instead, Denny had to do some work for you, and then
Yeah. No, I mean it was fine. Like I just thought game 1 I think I didn't play very well to be honest. Like I don't know, just little things, very little things, but I wasn't seeing the matchup clearly. And so I think there's a lot of things that I should have done differently. Just I don't know if it would have mattered. I mean, he just had a really good start, but there are little things where I overthought it a little bit, where I think I should have just played safer. And because his version too had the cooks in them,
mhm.
like I I I guess I didn't expect that, I suppose, even though it's a very popular deck. And so I don't know. There's a lot of things that um, I just did not play that correctly. And so after that, I felt I didn't feel great, I guess, about anything. I don't know. I just felt bad. And then, second game, he's just drawing perfectly.
Yep.
And so, and I'm just like, okay, like, I guess we just play our best and try to find a way to survive. And I really just thought I was dead a whole bunch of times in that match. And somehow we survive and win out of nowhere, sort of. And so, and that felt, I think that honestly was the turning point for me, at least mentally or emotionally. Like it just felt like at that, in the middle of that game, I really was like, oh, we're swept because if I can't eat this, if the shaman is the last deck left, then I have a lot of problems basically in my
Yes.
lineup. So, um,
you
it
gotta
was
you
looking
gotta
that way. And so I was like, it'd be really rough. But thankfully, that game turned around. And then the Shaman game, even in spite of the turn 3, 8/8 clear, like I top decked another Knoll and so was able to pressure and it worked
Yeah.
out in the end.
But he was also at that time just churning like crazy as well, like completing
Yeah.
quests while you were uh, trying to get your board big. So, but
Yeah. I mean, the one matchup I really was looking forward to was the Face Hunter against Demon Hunter. I'm like pretty sure I can get a win here.
yep,
And thankfully I had the mulligan was really good and had the cards and
yes,
his cards were okay too. They weren't terrible, but I mean, I just had a really good opening. I wasn't even sure about the coin. The coin. I don't even know the name of that thing. The hawk thing.
the
Like I wasn't
Strider, yeah,
100% sure. Yeah, I wasn't even 100% sure if that was the right play because I'm like maybe buffing the Slither Spear is like the more correct, or that's like what you normally do. But then I had 2 minions in hand that would play out on turn 3 after the coin turn. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's no combination of cards that removes the 2/5 on turn 3. So I get guarantee +1/+1 plus like little 1/1s. Like that seemed pretty good. And my goal at that point was basically I got to kill him before turn 6, right before
hmm
lifesteal turn. And so I just went with that plan, and then luckily was able to dredge out a aim shot. And so after I dredged that, I was like, okay, this is the right line.
Well, you had an option of picking the right shot or the left shot. Which one? You had two
Yeah,
that
it was
came
pretty
up,
much
so
an
I think
instant
it was
pick. Yeah,
destiny. I think.
I know.
Hey,
When I
you're
saw both
supposed to
of
pick a
them, like,
card. Yeah,
right. I was
this is
like,
your
oh,
card.
like I really want another dredge. I have to remember that this other one's down here just in case I need it for some reason.
That's right. Yeah. Hustle, anything you saw that you were impressed with the play? I mean,
I was impressed all 5 games. That was a killer set of matches. I was particularly impressed by the way you found your outs in that mage game.
yes.
You were so low on life and you still, you froze his face and found your way to win, and you end up winning the series. So really, really well played. The only question I really had was, today, it's just casting today is the first time I've actually seen this face hunter come out. What were the conversations like that led you to bring it? Was it specifically to try and counter Demon Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was thinking like, should I just be all in trying to counter this Demon Hunter? Because that is a line that my lineup kind of can take, but it's not foolproof because as you can tell, like Demon Hunter just draws really well sometimes and just draws you out of the game. So like I didn't want to go all in, and so like I didn't like I think if I had gone all in, I would have probably preferred the big spell mage instead. And so I tried to like create a lineup that was pretty good against the Demon Hunter, but also wouldn't sacrifice too much from the other lineups. Face Hunter, I guess the decision was like I was already, Bruto is the one who wrote put this deck together and took it to NA1, I think. And like the reason was because it's supposed to be good against Rogue and Demon Hunter. I didn't find it to necessarily be good against Rogue, and the stats don't seem to say that, but people are saying that, and I have played some, and I do understand it, but I do think the different lists that Miracle Rogue is trying to evolve into can counter it pretty easily. Like if people are running the bone spears and stuff, right? Like it can be countered pretty easily. So like as far as I can tell, I think for most of ladder, I suppose, like Face Hunter seems okay. It seems fine. Like it's really good against Demon Hunter. It's okay against like Mage. I guess the thought process was just, do I bring that or Shock Spitter? And I guess part of me was like, Shock Spitter gives the Demon Hunter an out, whereas the other, like Shaman's pretty good against DH. Miracle Rogue is fine, but they're going to probably ban it. And then also like the Mage is pretty good or can be pretty good. So I guess I didn't want to give the Demon Hunter an out. And then also like sometimes in the closed list, I just feel like there's a small advantage to running a deck that people are not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I don't necessarily think Face Hunter is like better than Shock Spitter, just outright on ladder or even necessarily against all the classes I was expecting, like I think that statistically they're close enough, and like sometimes getting an edge by the surprise or changing a person's mulligan or something, or even like the comfort of playing, right? Like probably Andy is more comfortable playing Hunter against Shockspitter just because he's played that matchup on ladder a lot, but he probably hasn't played Face Hunter as much. And so even though like I did not like I showed my hunter beforehand, like it wasn't a shock, right? Like he knew
Right.
going into that matchup, like, oh yeah, it's Face Hunter. Like I still feel like the comfort of play, like there's you win some percentages that way sometimes, on very small little decisions,
Yeah.
everything. And so that was the reason. I don't know. Like I think it's a reasonable deck. I think that Hunter has basically 3 reasonable decks, including Beast Hunter. Like, and so it just makes it an interesting and flexible class.
Yeah, I like what you said about, comparing the win rates of Face Hunter and Spitter Hunter, because oftentimes I think that we can become a little bit preoccupied with, oh, this one's favored, this is not favored, and forget that you're talking about margins that are like, it's 55 to 45. Like that's still almost as good as a coin toss. And so whatever you think
Right.
is more comfortable or might make your opponent less comfortable makes a lot of sense to go with. So I really love getting that insight from you, and just really, really well played series. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah. Like it's honestly the stats thing is something I've had to learn too, because I think usually I would just, oh, it's a higher number. Okay, go with that. Like, even if it's like 2%, and it's like I would value the 2% so much, even though 2% is functionally it's like a card change, you know, like you make 1 or 2 card changes and then the 2% is gone, or you can gain the 2% back, you know. So
Right.
I'm starting to learn that actually from like THL and from this format, like having a closed format like this, like it's helping me to pay attention to the card choices a lot more and like the deck building aspects. And then also even like these little things like, you know, pivoting, even if it's not a massive pivot, you know, the game plays out somewhat the same. I'm still the beat down, things like that. But I can see how it does change the outcome sometimes, right? And like can get you a small edge. And like, I don't know, I feel like I need every single edge I can get anywhere I can get it. Just because Andy's a great player, he played really well, obviously, and so and
What?
absolutely, like I think like sometimes the smallest thing changes the entire outcome, right? So
Yeah, and I guess during the games itself, it's as you're, you've already made your play, and then you get to see your opponent in the DH perspective just rolling through, getting discount after discount after discount, kind of plays into some of that as well. But you did well tonight. You adapted, and then you won. So
yeah, I'm pretty surprised to be honest. So, I'm just telling like in my in my Discord channel, I was seriously in the middle of game 2. I'm like, I think I'm about to get swept. Like that's just how the game feels right now, based
yeah,
on what's happening on the other side and where I'm at in this mage matchup. And so I
yeah,
just feel like that was the turning. Like I was so like, you know, I got lucky basically that he didn't draw the outs, right? Like I was
hmm
so shocked. I was like, oh, I can't play around anything, everything. These are the only things I play around. You know, he's got 6 cards left in deck. If he has, you know, this one or that one or both of them or whatever, like I'm still dead. So it's just like, whatever. We just do what we can, and
yeah.
we
You
got
just
lucky.
play,
So you know,
and rip it. Yep. So,
yeah,
well, congrats on the win tonight. Pretty sure, as everybody's confirming through chat as well, that it is definitely a tie. So uh, going in, you just need as much points as you can. Being it a short season, being 7 weeks plus playoffs, the week 3 is pretty pivotal. So yeah, so
yeah.
congrats.
Thanks. Yeah, I think it was we earned the tie. I would say, like both
That
teams, like
that's right.
them as well. Like, yeah,
I was
really
just
good series.
trying to see where you guys are at in the standings right now.
Yeah, we're not doing great. Like, it's interesting though. I'm very happy with the team and our prep and everything. Like
Yep.
the results haven't turned out all the time, but people are like constantly improving and talking and encouraging and all that stuff. So I'm pretty happy. Like, what regardless of the turnout of this season, like it just feels like it's been a good season for us. So
That's
regardless of
good.
like results, you know.
It
Yeah.
puts you right in the middle of the pack, though. I mean, I don't know what the Vanish Venters, if they won. Yeah, you're currently fourth without putting in the numbers, but
Right.
Copa Keepers are up there as well. So yeah, so we'll have to see. My math is pretty
Yeah.
bad, so
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see how next couple weeks. It'll be pivotal for us to keep getting better and keep
that's
improving.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thanks again for joining us, and again, congrats, and congrats to Andy too for well, I shouldn't say congrats, but I mean, great games, Andy, and thanks for being on stream as well. So
Thanks for casting and having us.
you got it.
See
Have a
you
good
guys.
night. Take care.
Good night.
All right. Wow. So had some fun tonight. We got some great games for both matches. The hero matches was very entertaining as well. Thanks to all the players. So this is Joel C. And really all the players that played this Friday, Saturday. All the players that were able to make it and jump on stream. If anybody else that's currently watching tonight feels like they want to play their matches in week 4, you know where to find us on the THL channel and the streamed matches. So either myself, Wild9, I think is going to be off on Saturday, but I'll be available and Sunday. So any final words, Hustle, before we wave goodbye to our viewers there?
Just thank yous, thank you again for having me. This second time, this is a blast. I really enjoy doing this, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. So thanks for all of the hard work you do, and you and the rest of the THL team, and thanks for giving newcomers like me the opportunity to participate like this. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes, 100%, and we're glad to have you on board and Anybody else interested in casting or opping, just find me, find Donde, and we'll try and figure out what we can do to kind of get you involved if you like to be involved. So thanks everybody for joining us. Have a great night and have a great week. We'll see you on Tuesday with Heart Center with Lotus Knight and his friends. Take care. Bye.
Say make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. I need that Skrilla on the Rilla. Survival of the fittest, you can sink or swim. I've been broke, I ain't never going back again. I need some C notes, some cheddar, and a stack of ends. I need a bowl of dough.